So the title of the presentation from Irene is Neural Bioholography as Remote Management of Neural Wave Optics via Refraction in the Neural Scalar Wave Diffraction Grating.
I would like to thank the organizers of the 12th Annual World Congress Neurotalk 2023 for inviting me to give a speech with the title Neural Bioholography as Remote Management of Neural Wave Optics via Refraction in the Neural Scalar Wave Diffraction Grating. I'm the author of the Fundamental Theory of Wave Optics and Chromosomes, 1985, and the Refraction Code Bioholography Technology, and the founder and president of the Wave Genome LLC biotechnological company, founded in 2010. We are standing at the verge of the fourth industrial revolution, as defined by Klaus Schwab of the World Economic Forum, which I call the looming collapse of human civilization. The fourth industrial revolution introduces the Internet of Bodies, which is essentially the global and remote psychotronic mind control. This global and remote psychotronic mind control, for example Neuralink, is the other side of the Starlink, the system of satellites with psychotronic generators on the low orbits, bypassing both the discretion of a citizen and the control by a national state with its national telecommunication system. Thus, we cannot rely on the national state for the protection from this kind of mind control, and it becomes the obligation of every neuroscientist to give the theoretical and technological assessment of this grave danger, that is, to assess the damage done and what neuroscience can do about it. This psychotronic mind control, aka synthetic telepathy, erases the distinctions between a human and a machine, according to three major dogmas of the so-called transhumanism. First, transhumanists argue for the compatibility of human intellect and machine intellect, so that a human brain can be altered in the same manner as a machine can be altered, by adding and subtracting parts and functions in the arbitrary, aka virtual manner. Second, transhumanists say that because human intellect is compatible with the machine intellect, and because the machine intellect demonstrates some advantages over the human intellect, the artificial intellect is superior to the human intellect. And third, because artificial intellect is superior to the human intellect, say transhumanists, there will happen the so-called singularity, the merging of the artificial intellect with the human intellect, so that there is the human intellect no more. Making even a bigger claim, Klaus Schwab states as the goal the merger of the physical, digital and biological worlds in ways that will fundamentally transform humankind. This global agenda makes any neuroscience which develops its theory and technologies in separation from physics irrelevant as of today. So neuroscience needs to determine its stand on the cutting-edge physics. But even more important, the neuroscience cannot continue any longer without a new fundamental theory, that shows why physics is so important for biology. It is evident that neuroscience and biology in general cannot deal with the implications of the fourth industrial revolution without the fundamental theory of everything that is new. And the price paid for delay is millions of human lives lost over the last few years and the danger of human extinction. This synthetic merger of the physical, digital and biological is also called the full spectrum dominance, which includes the binary biological war, the psychotronic war, the climate war and the cyber war in one package. For neuroscience, this means that it gets transformed into the synthetic telepathy and synthetic biology as an analog of computer science with the openly announced goals of the unlimited read and write access to the human mind and human biology in general, as it happens in files on the computer. Synthetic telepathy and synthetic biology in general is moving from replacing the hardware of the brain, for example by implants, towards dealing with the hardware of the body via the downloading the software distributed digitally via the Internet of Bodies. This would include, say transhumanists, first the ability to download and upload memories, including fake memories, and the ability to alter and even erase the real memories, as it happens in the word processor on the computer. Second, the ability to download and upload personalities, including the virtual personalities, aka avatars, and the ability to alter and even erase the personality of a given human. And in general, third, the ability to globally and remotely control a human being via controlling his/her brain's pain and pleasure centers localized by Jose Delgado. And so Jennifer Doudna is marketing CRISPR-Cas9 precisely as an analog of the computer program, a word processor that can rewrite our genetic code. This CRISPR-Cas9 DNA processor changes DNA, transforming humans into the genetically modified organisms, even if the genetic modification was done with client's own genetic material. Genetically modified organisms are sterile.
From the point of view of molecular neuroscience, the genetically modified organisms are also cognitively degraded. Sterilized imbeciles is the true meaning of Jennifer Doudna's Nobel Prize. So we can conclude that the merger between computer science and neuroscience and biology in general consists for transhumanists, first of all, in applying to the neuroscience the scientific methods of the computer science. Computer science operates with the binary code, which creates finite sequences. On the contrary, we live in the infinitely dimensional reality, which can be fully described only in terms of quantum physics, from chromosome to galaxy. The universe is built upon the holographic principle, which states that the universe is entirely in its every matrix point. This means that no Ray Kurzweil can grant us any digital eternal life, since we are already eternal. This also means that being infinite, human mind is not compatible with the machine mind, which is finite. And this, of course, means that when Elon Musk called the human mind feline in comparison with the artificial intellect, he had only referred to his own mind. From 2017 to 2020, at the University of California, Davis, Elon Musk had implanted 17 monkeys with Musk's Neuralink brain chips as part of a 3-year study. Out of 17 monkeys involved in the clinical trial, 15 reportedly died. So from the standpoint of the quantum physics, we can make a definitive judgment that the kind of physics that Klaus Schwab is relying on is a complete failure. Since the physical grounds of the fourth industrial revolution by Klaus Schwab are flawed, so is his entire agenda of the so-called Great Reset and all his methods in neuroscience and biology in general, including CRISPR-Cas9. The new developments of the CRISPR-Cas9 methodology include precisely the application of physics to biology, chemogenetics, optogenetics, and magnetogenetics. Graphene or ferritin magnetoprotein with virus vector delivery, enhanced electrophysiology, NeuroEP, is the application of electromagnetic signals to the brain for mind control and remote regulation of gene expression by low-frequency radio waves, or a magnetic field in the paradigm of the endovascular or else brain-computer interface. But in reality, the graphene or ferritin-enhanced electrophysiology is the outdated electromagnetic resonance technology of the Soviet Union era and is based upon the fallacious concept of singularity, that is, merging of the human intellect and the machine intellect. Since the entire paradigm of CRISPR-Cas9 is mistaken, the chemogenetics, optogenetics, and magnetogenetics offer only the narrow range and short-term neural stimulation and modulation, and cannot go beyond conditional reflexes and compartmentalization of the brain. And ultimately, instead of providing neural enhancement, synthetic remote telepathy causes neural degeneration. Due to the high side effects, risks of these neurotechnologies, it is necessary to formulate adequate assessment of the frequency resonance electromagnetic field technology in the molecular neuroscience. Synthetic biology, such as CRISPR-Cas9, and synthetic telepathy, such as magnetogenetics, do not account for every part of the human body as a systematic whole. The holographic principle applies to chromosome as much as to a galaxy. And if the systematic whole is entirely in its every part, then the communication between the parts within the systematic whole and between each part and the whole occurs remotely and instantaneously and not via some biological pathways. Deciphering the mechanism of this instantaneous and remote communication within human brain and human body in general is the path to regeneration, long life, and true cognitive and physical enhancement of a human being. It is known that brain's effectiveness manifests itself in the more coherence and symmetry of brain's oscillations in all brain wave spectra simultaneously and in all the symmetrical zones of hemispheres. Also, it is known that brain's effectiveness depends upon the absence of the structural damage in chromosomes in the brain, and cognitive deterioration increases with the increase in the structural damage in chromosomes, and in general with the increase of chromosome instability and aneuploidy, chromosomal gain and loss. The structural damage in chromosomes, chromosome instability, and aneuploidy, chromosomal gain and loss cause the neural cell apoptosis. Nonetheless, there was no fundamental theory explaining the loss of structurally damaged neurons. Now, let me introduce my fundamental theory of wave optics and chromosomes, which explains the loss of structurally affected neurons.